One more. Seattle Mariners need one more win to advance to the ALCS. Great win tonight. Still business to be done. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back and welcome into the Seattle Mariners post-game ALDS Game 3 recap. They defeat the Tigers 8-4. They take a 2-1 series lead over Detroit. They can finish the series tomorrow with a win. As always, before I go any further, do me a favor, like the video, comment your thoughts on the team and the game down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you are new or lurking to the channel. If you're a channel member, make sure to head over to my post page on my channel, check out the contest details. I think most of you got a pick in, but if you haven't yet, please go ahead and head over there, check it out, and fill out and submit your answer to win the prize for the contest, almost a concert. Thank you again to everybody, members and non-members, for all of your support for my channel. Game 2 was a must-win. You were a little bit of the underdog, right? In fact, I think betting-wise, the Mariners were the Game 2 underdog, and you took care of it. Backs against the wall a little bit, right? You'll go down 2-0 with 2 losses at home. You're not feeling very good, and they won. This game a little bit different. Mariners were the betting favorites in this one. They were favored to win. Logan Gilbert versus Jack Flaherty is a game Seattle should be favored to win, and they took care of that, right? That's 2 wins now. Different styles, but the Mariners getting the job done and now taking control of the series. Such a great turnaround from where we were at Game 1. Where, I mean, and listen, a lot of us are new to this, right? Like, we're not used to the playoffs. Next year, a Game 1 loss like that maybe doesn't hit us as hard because we know, hey, you can come back here and get back in the series. But for us, we're sitting there going, great, you're down 0-1. Tarek Skubal's pitching tomorrow. Then you're going on the road where the Mariners have been great this year. It just all compounds in our heads, right? I mean, we're Mariners fans. I mean, we've watched the playoffs, I'm sure, over the last 20 years, but we haven't had that emotional investment in it, and it's a different animal. So losing Game 1 really did feel like it might be it. I mean, it was tough to get it back, and for them to go out and win Game 2 the way they did, finding a way to do it, and then just standing on business today and getting this game. And said, now you're back in control of the series. The worst case scenario for the Seattle Mariners, worst case scenario, you're going home on Friday with a day's rest in front of your home fans, an electric crowd, in a Game 5 to advance. I'm not saying the worst case scenario to be negative. I'm actually meaning as a positive. That's the worst thing that's going to happen. Do I want to win tomorrow? Yeah, I'd prefer not to go up against Tarek Skubal and try to beat him for a 4th time this year. Don't really, I guess technically they didn't beat him on Sunday, but he was the pitcher on the mound when the Mariners won. When the Tigers lost, I guess a better way to say that. So do I want to deal with that for a 4th time? No, but it's not the worst thing in the world if the Mariners have to come home Friday and play a Game 5, right? Do I want it? No, but that's the worst thing that can happen tomorrow. So, ideally go out and finish it, but the Mariners are in good position is what I'm trying to say. They've put themselves in good position here to get this done. They've got 2 games to do it. Hopefully they can get it done tomorrow. Funny enough, the Mariners lose Game 1, and because, this series, and it looked like this was going to be a dogfight, it still might very well go to 5 games, but if the Mariners win tomorrow, they're the first game. I think they'd be the first team, unless Toronto's coming back tonight, to advance to the ALCS. So just kind of funny to a CS, actually, because Milwaukee and the Dodgers and Phillies play later at night. So kind of funny how that could actually work out if they can get it done. We're jumping ahead, though. Logan Gilbert, absolutely fantastic. Brilliant tonight. Mariners turned what was probably a routine double play. He would have had 6 shutout innings. That's an ace. That is the Logan Gilbert that got the opening day start for the Seattle Mariners this year. That Bulldog guy that led the AL in innings pitched last year. That was him on the mound. That was the start you get from an ace. That's on the road, hostile environment. Tigers in good shape, right? They came out of Seattle splitting. That's what you set out to do as a road team. So they had to feel pretty good coming into this, that they win, same as Mariners, right? They win tonight. They're going for the series win tomorrow. And Logan Gilbert put their hopes to rest very quickly, as did the Mariners offense tonight, which erupts for 8 runs in this game. And you know what they did that was beautiful, that we've kind of gotten on them for maybe a little bit? They added on runs. Now, the offense has been fantastic all season, but they've had some trouble they'd get that 5-6 run inning. Guys, can we get one more to put it away? They get 2 in the 3rd, thanks to the J.P. Crawford single and the Victor Robles base running there. which leads to a run. Randy then singles in JP. And then in the fourth inning, Gino goes deep. Good to see Eugenio Suarez connect. That's why you keep a guy like that playing. That's why you stick with him. Gino does not have to be Diamondbacks Gino to be a big factor for the Seattle Mariners. A walk and a home run tonight. We'll check the box score for the rest. I don't remember if he got on another time. We'll take a look at that. But that's why you keep him in there, because he's got that capability. He can do that, and he's a streaky guy. Wouldn't be shocked if he goes deep tomorrow. A lot of those guys, Gino, Cal, who gets into one today, they come in bunches for these guys. So Gino connects on a big one. Cal with the base hit single. We'll talk about the home run, but love seeing Cal with some of these doubles and singles and a walk of this series. Just really good to see Cal going back to that complete player. Home runs are amazing. Again, please hit home runs every time you come up to the plate. If every Mariner did that, well, we'd still be in the first inning because they'd be going around with home runs. But it is nice to see a complete package there that Cal is bringing to the table this postseason, and showing why he is the MVP. It's not just the home runs or other things that Cal Raleigh does that makes him a tremendous player. JP in the sixth inning, after kind of not turning that double play that probably should have been turned on Kerry Carpenter, JP comes right back with a home run off a tough lefty. It's given them a lot of fits so far in this series. I thought that was a huge statement run. Detroit chips away a little bit in the fifth. Not a big deal. I think the Mariners would have taken that. They were fine, one run, not a big deal from Detroit. But for JP to get that right back is huge. Then a little defensive fun out there for the Tigers in the eighth inning. And then Cal Raleigh with the big home run the opposite way. 2-run home run in the ninth. By the way, I got to tell you, it's weird. If you're following it on your phone or on the internet or whatever, and you see Cal Raleigh hits the home run, it's got, it always has their home run total in parentheses by them. Seeing a 1, because we're now in the postseason, from Cal Raleigh with home run totals was very weird. I am not used to seeing a little number 1 for home runs next to Cal. I'm like, wait a minute. That's something you see in March or April, not in October here. So just kind of funny. And it's been a long time since we've seen this number that small next to the big dumpers home run total. But first home run of the postseason for him. Josh Naylor with that great play in the ninth inning, snapping. And congratulations to Josh Naylor and his wife. Beautiful timing by baby Naylor, by the way. Fantastic. That baby's a baller, obviously. Comes on Monday, gives Josh plenty of time to get to Detroit on Tuesday. That baby's already dialed into Major League Baseball. Obviously, it's not important. Baseball does not matter when it comes to stuff like that. But congratulations to Josh and his family on that. Caleb Ferguson was atrocious in that ninth inning. You can put him off the roster for all I care now. Listen, I'm not one to jump normally. You guys and gals know that I'm usually very calm with those things. Bad outings happen too many times from Caleb Ferguson. I don't, lefty, righty, doesn't matter, right? Lefties are great to have. You'd like someone else besides Spire that could come in maybe, if Spire's to come in earlier in a game, or, got to use another lefty later. But if you get nobody out, it doesn't matter, right? I'd rather watch Emerson Hancock or Luke Jackson or Carlos Vargas as much, as we give Vargas, and a lot of it rightfully so. I think Vargas gets out of that ninth over Ferguson. That was awful. It's not a big deal. Munoz only throws 9 pitches, gets through it. But man, the Tigers were 2 batters away from bringing the tying run to the plate. Like, that cannot happen when you're up 8-1. I'm not a big believer that gives them momentum for tomorrow. I know sometimes, maybe that gets them going. I don't think that's how it works. The Mariners won the baseball game. There's not a lot of little silver linings, especially in the playoffs. Maybe for the Tigers, you could say, and AJ Hinch said this post game, that, hey, we made Munoz throw some pitches through 9. There's an off day Thursday. Munoz is going to be fine for tomorrow. Bizzardo only throws 9 pitches in his 8th inning. I feel vindicated from Edward Bizzardo. I get a lot of things wrong. My goal of this channel and everything has never been to be right. I think fans that go out there or even content creators, and their main thing is to be right about everything, it's not for me, because it's not what it's about. We're all wrong a lot of times, right? When we root for a sport where the best hitters are hitting 280, that means 28% of the time they're getting a hit. The other time they're not. So it is about failures. I'm wrong about a lot of things. I've always been a Bizzardo guy. There's been moments I've said I'm not anymore. But I feel vindicated from Edward Bizzardo this year and how good he has been. But it's not me. That's about how great Bizzardo has been this season. He has been an absolute delight to watch, to the point where, honestly, it's kind of funny because Brash and Munoz are the big names and the big guns, but I think I trust Bizzardo and Spire the most in that bullpen. It's not a dig on Brash or Munoz, who obviously did their jobs today. as well. But man, like Bizarro just comes in, it's all business. Same with Spire. Bizarro only throws 9 pitches. Brash only throws 13. Spire's not used. You've got your full arsenal for tomorrow here for the Mariners. This just, listen, 2 coin flip games, right? Game 1 and 2, playoffs or battles. This was the first game where you kind of saw why. And this isn't a dig on the Tigers. Like they could still come back and win this series. If you're a Tigers fan, watch this. This isn't meant to be like some sort of trash talking dig, but you see why the Mariners probably are the better team overall in a game like this. Just, Detroit has Tarek Skubal, who's fantastic. And after that, it's a bit of a drop off. I don't think Jack Flaherty was terrible by any means, but he's hittable. Casey Mize goes tomorrow. Really good first half, struggled in the second half. Is he good? Yeah, a good pitcher. All these guys are capable, but it's someone the Mariners can get to. And if you can find a way to beat a guy like Tarek Skubal, which they did on Sunday, you set yourself up very well. And from the Mariners standpoint, you can throw Luis Castillo, George Kirby. Today, Logan Gilbert. Tomorrow's going to be a little tricky. Tomorrow, you're missing Brian Wu, right? Bryce Miller is going to go. I think you got to be very careful there. The ideal scenario is the Mariners jump out like 7-8-0 early, and then you just leave Bryce until you maybe get 4 or 5 out of him and hope he keeps it 7-2 or 7-3. You can turn over the bullpen. Probably not going to happen. I think you're looking for 2 or 3 max effort from Bryce. 1 time, maybe 2 times through the order, fingers crossed. I'd say probably 1 time through. See where he's at, right? See where the game's at. And then you turn it over to the bullpen pretty early. Maybe squeeze 1 inning out of an Emerson Hancock. And then hopefully by then it's the 3rd or the 4th or 5th inning. I'd go to Bizarro for 2, Spire, Brash, Munoz, and go from there. You're off Thursday if, God forbid, you don't win it. So you're okay with those guys because they'll get that day off on Thursday. But that's kind of how I would handle it. I'd be very careful with Miller. Listen, a chance for redemption, though, for Bryce, right? We can talk about negatives about it, and Bryce did not have a great season, obviously dealt with injury. But what are the playoffs all about? Well, they're about winning and hopefully getting the World Series, but it can be redemption stories, too. I think I've said it on this channel. If not, I've said it to people at home so I can get over people to vouch for it. Adam Frazier in 2022, right, with the double to win the wild card series. Adam Frazier was not good in 2022. 612 OPS. I think he was a fairly average defender. But you know what? I'd buy Adam Frazier a beer if we were hanging out at the bar, right? That guy wouldn't have to pay for a drink. I'd be like, dude, Adam Frazier. Percy Harvin, Seattle Seahawks. Dude played like 20 snaps all season. Seahawks traded a 1st-round pick for the guy. But you know what? I don't have a problem with that trade because Percy Harvin was a big part of the Seattle Seahawks winning a Super Bowl. Playoffs can be about redemption. If Bryce Miller can go out there tomorrow, give you, even if it's 3 1/3 and it's shutout ball, 4 strikeouts, no walks or whatever, gets through it, that's redemption for Bryce. It's a 2nd season for a guy that, and not all his fault, lost a lot of it to injury this year. He did look better in the second half of the season. He had a couple of really good starts, one against the Angels. Home runs were a bit of a problem for him still, but Bryce was not awful in the second half of the year. And I don't know what the advanced metrics sound. Maybe he wasn't as great, but this is a chance for redemption for Bryce Miller to look back on a lost season with optimism, to look back on and go, you know what? I helped the Seattle Mariners win an ALDS and move on to the ALCS. And Bryce Miller's got a chance for that tomorrow. Now, everything I said about the 2-3 innings stands, right? I don't go against that. But I'm not going to look at it as Bryce Miller going as a negative. I'm going to look at it as a redemption opportunity for Bryce Miller tomorrow on the season. If he doesn't, hopefully your offense does enough. The bullpen's good, and you find a way to finish it off in another way here tomorrow as well. Another thing with the offense, too, is great to see everybody contribute a little bit. It's been very Julio Cal-centric the first couple games. Not Jorge Polanco. I don't know why I'm forgetting about that, but good to see Victor Robles make a little noise today. JP makes a little noise today. Randy got a little taste of playoff Randy today. Who else had something today? I feel like I'm missing somebody. I mean, Josh Naylor hit another ball just like game 1, where I swear it was 500 feet off the bat, but ends up dropping in center field there, deep center field. But Gino Suarez, right? Eugenio Suarez contributing. So lineup is very deep, and when everybody's contributing, you can see the length of that lineup. You could almost see it in Flaherty's face a little bit when he was kind of struggling. They're like, man, I got Julio, now I got to face Polanco. Geesh, I got Polanco, now Josh Naylor's coming up. Oh my gosh, here's Gino Suarez to lead off an inning. Oh, there's Dom Canzone working a quality walk. Oh, good, the eighth hitter's up. Now just Victor Robles prancing around and dancing, with a double down the line. Oh, J.P. Crawford's a 9-hitter. No, he's going to hit a 450-foot bomb off a good left-handed reliever for you. And the lineup turns back over. Oh, there's Randy Rosarena and Cal Raleigh. This lineup, when it's just rolling, is so, so good. Let's dive into the box score. Where's my mouse? There it is. Logan Gilbert, brilliant, absolutely brilliant tonight. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned, no walks, 7 Ks. Another thing I didn't highlight earlier, so if anybody, hopefully stuck with this video for the rest of the way, how about the shutdown innings from Logan Gilbert? Mariners go out and get 2 runs, nothing given up by Logan. Mariners go get 2 more runs, nothing given up by Logan. So important for a pitcher, so important for a team's morale. I mean, it's a little cliche probably, but how many times are you sitting there with your buddies at the bar, having a beer, watching the game, or texting people going, we need a shutdown inning here. We need a shutdown inning. It can be cliche, but it's true, right? You want that shutdown inning after you get a couple runs. There's nothing more frustrating than getting 3 or 4 runs and then a walk and a hit the next inning going, can we just make this easy? Logan gave you those shutdown innings today. That is so important, man. Logan was absolutely brilliant tonight. 85 pitches, 50 for strikes. Brash, a clean 7th. No walks, beautiful. No damage done, clean inning. Bizarro's so good. 1 shut inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Caleb Ferguson was awful. Doesn't record an out, 3 hits, 3 runs, a walk, all earned. And then Munoz shuts the door with a ground. I think it was a fly out, then the double play to Naylor. It was hit hard by Meadows. At least it looked like, I don't know what the actual exit velo on it was. But Munoz gets it done. Certainly would have loved not to use Munoz in an 8-1 game, but he throws 9 pitches. You got to get the W. Dan did the right thing there. Dan also did the right thing going to Ferguson, Vargas there. You got to be able to hold a 7-run lead. Like, any reliever should be able to do that. Playoffs is weird. I wouldn't have cared if he went to Munoz right off the bat there. I would have understood it. I didn't think that was a bad decision. Ferguson faces 4 hitters, can't even get an out. Even if he gets 1 out there, at least to go, okay, like 1 or 2 more, roll up a double play or something. But Munoz is able to finish it off for the Mariners. So everybody should be good to go tomorrow. I mean, maybe Ferguson's not available. I will stomach that loss tomorrow if that's what it takes. Let's look at the offense. How about 4 for 9 with runners in scoring position? Funny enough, Detroit actually goes 3 for 5 with runners on. That 9th inning helped that number a little bit. Randy 2 for 5 with the RBI single. A little bit of playoff Randy, like I said, a little bit of taste. Cal Raleigh 2 for 4, 3 RBIs in the 2-run home run and the RBI single and a walk. Cal probably the ALDS MVP in my opinion so far. Just love the overall game he's showing, and glad to see the Dumper mix a home run in there as well. But love that we're seeing some singles and doubles. And then don't forget the dudes behind the plate working with this pitching staff that has been phenomenal in these 3 games. Nobody has pitched poorly outside of Caleb Ferguson today. And maybe Vargas a little bit in game 1, but Kirby was on point. Spire's been great. Munoz, Brash has been pretty solid. Bizarro's been great. Castillo, I don't know if I said Castillo, Gilbert today. And that's Cal behind the plate helping with that. Julio 0 for 5. Julio a little bit off today. I will say his strikeout, I think it was in the 3rd. Flaherty gave him a 3-1 fastball kind of down the middle. That's a pitch you'd like to see Julio do some damage on. And then a 3-2 slider off the plate that he swung and missed at. But that was a pretty crucial at bat there. Because I think you get on base or you knock Flaherty out of that game a little bit earlier. Julio did have one down the left field line. Riley Green came over, made a nice play on that. But probably not Julio's best. Well, definitely not his best day offensively, but that's okay. Save it for tomorrow. Polanco 0 for 4 with a walk. Naylor 0 for 5. Hey, that just means Naylor's due tomorrow to do something. Gino with a solid game, 1 for 3, the solo home run and a walk. Very good to see. Would love to see Gino get going. This offense opens up a lot more when Gino's hot. Dom was 0 for 1 with a walk. Garver pinched hit, and I think he flew out. Raley pinched hit, reached on the air. He pinched hit for Garver. Nice day for Victor Robles, 1 for 4 at the double. Did he reach on an error as well? Or was Raley hit by a pitch? You know what? Now let me make sure I got this right. That was in the 8th, right? Just make sure I've got this right. Because no, Raley was hit by a pitch, yes, because he was 0 for 0. Robles reached on the error by Kerry Carpenter. How about the day for J.P. Crawford? 2 for 2 with a walk and the home run and a single, 2 RBIs on the day for JP. JP's OPS over 1,000 in this series. Now it's 3 games, so you go 2 for 2 with a home run, that's and a walk and a single. that's going to boost that up big time. But JP quietly having a really nice series at the bottom of the order, helping to turn that over back to the top. One more. Mariners are one away. If I sound a little guarded, it's not that I'm not happy. I am absolutely thrilled internally, but there's still business to be done, right? Like, it's very similar to winning game one against Houston. You put yourself in great shape, that series in Houston late in September, but there's still business to be done. You still got to go out tomorrow, finish this series off, and advance. Worst case is you do drop tomorrow. You got game 5 at home. Not the end of the world. And again, it's not to be negative. I'm just trying to tell you guys, don't panic if it happens. Detroit's a feisty team, right? Detroit is not going to just lay over and let their season die. You're going to get everything they have tomorrow with their season on the line. But this Mariners team is determined as well. And they are one win away from advancing to the American League Championship Series. Why don't we go out tomorrow and get ourselves a little bit of a W and advance and have a little party on this channel? Love you all. Take care. Let's finish this tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, and most importantly, go Mariners. Peace.